with me, faves. On today's recipe, we are going to be making fish and beef stew to be paired with rice and beans. Stay tuned. Here was me seasoning the meat, and I did that with 1 cube of Maggi sauce to taste. I added enough onion, then I added curry and thyme. I stirred that together, allowed the meat to bring out its own juice before I added more. At this point, the meat was ready. I poured it out into a plate because we're going to be using that same pot to make this stew. I sliced my onion, and yes, I was multitasking. I put the beans on fire, and while it was parboiling, I went back to my stew. When frying stew, I use enough oil. If you don't like too much oil, that is fine because of your health. But for me, I use enough oil so that the tomatoes will fry properly. Here, I was frying the tin tomato. I boiled the tomato and pepper mix till it was dry. I blended the tomato and pepper mix with ginger and garlic plus 1 bulb of onion. You can also add rosemary or any other herbs to give you the taste you desire. I prefer to use herbs and spices when cooking than seasoning cubes and powdered seasoning in sachets. So here I added curry and thyme, and by the time I stirred that together, the whole house was filled with sweet aroma. Even the neighbors had to come out to check what I was cooking. Remember, I was multitasking, so by the time I went to check on the beans and the rice that was parboiling, my tomato was burning. I added the meat stock, and while the stew was cooking, I went to check on my fish. So here I was seasoning the fish. I did that with 1 cube of Maggi, salt. I added little curry and thyme. I won't be boiling the fish at all. I used my hands to rub in the seasonings into the fish, and while the fish was marinating, I checked on the rice that was parboiling. It was ready. I had to pour it into the already parboiled beans, stirred that together, and went ahead to fry my fish. It is time to come back to our stew. The distractions were much, so I added the meat and gave that a good stir. As you can see, this stew is very, very thick. Some persons like it this way, but I don't. I added little water to loosen up the stew. And here was me chopping my spring onion. There is this sweet taste that spring onion adds to your meat, to your stew. I wish I can describe that taste. So here I added the fried fish. I also went in with the spring onion, and I gave the stew a good stir. Yeah, I turned everything together so the ingredients, the fish, the spring onion will marry themselves. And I added salt to taste. And our stew is coming out well. So I checked on the rice, and the rice was done. It was raining small for the water to dry. At this juncture, this was the outcome of the stew. Food done. Come and chop. Thanks for watching, and follow me for no reason. Bye.